Hi everyone, welcome back. Today's video is going to be my review for Michelle Phan's Life palette, and the one that was sent to me for review is the Nightlife palette. Actually, I got to choose which palette I wanted. I decided to choose the palette that had a lot of more rich tones in it and deeper shades. I did do a quick tutorial utilizing the palette and the quadrant down below. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that first, then I'm going to move into some swatches for you guys and we'll see how everything goes, and let's go ahead and get started. To start off by priming with MAC's Soft Ochre, I'm going to start off by using this color here for the transition. This eyeshadow color is not super pigmented, and it looks like it would be, which is why I chose this eyeshadow for the transition. As you guys can see, it goes on really light, and it does have to be built up to the intensity that you'd like. The next eyeshadow I'm going to use from this same quadrant is this soft violet eyeshadow. And this one is really sheer. It does have some pink, kind of like a duochrome effect to it. There's multiple shades to it, like a gray violet color, and it does have pink reflex in it. So I'm just going to pat this on, and as you can see, I'm going to just dip my brush one more time, but it is a beautiful color. To intensify the crease, I'm now going to use this shimmery brown eyeshadow color. I'm now going to apply this shade right at the outer corner. And this is another eyeshadow that looks like it would be really super pigmented. It looks absolutely gorgeous on the pan, but it does apply sheer. The good thing with this one is that there isn't any fallout. So I'm just applying this right at the outer corner, taking it close to the center of the eye. Has some glitter in it, but it completely diminishes once you apply it. Kind of reminds me of the Wet n Wild eyeshadows, the ones that have glitter in them. And just to the outer corner. To give the eye some more definition, I'm now going to use this matte black. It is really super pigmented, so I'm just going to go very lightly. Bring it down to the outer corner. I'm now going to take my blending brush and just blend this out. For the brow bone, I'm now going to use this eyeshadow, and for the inner corner as well. And this is a really pretty color, has a really nice sheen to it. So for the brow bone, because it is a little bit sheer, it is going to work out fine for this area. And I'm also going to apply this right at the inner corner. Lash line, I'm now going to combine these three eyeshadows because they are so sheer. I do need to continuously reapply, so I'm just going to combine these three purple eyeshadows. To zoom you guys in so you guys can see the color payoff of that first eyeshadow, and it is beautiful in the pan, but I don't know what happens. This eyeshadow has no color payoff whatsoever. Again, another eyeshadow that's beautiful but no payoff. So I'm going to have to combine the three eyeshadows to build it up to, at the very least, this intensity. Priming my hand and preparing for these swatches. I'm going to start off with this section right up here, and the silver one, at a first glance, as you guys can see, it looks so gorgeous. It's a silver. It's beautiful pigmentation on the fingers. When swatched, it's gorgeous. It's a really nice, beautiful sheen here, and this is another gorgeous and well pigmented eyeshadow. Then I'm going to move on to the gray right next to it, and that one is pigmented as well. That's what that looks like. So the colors are beautiful. They do have a nice pigmentation to them. This one up here, I've swatched it twice just to get pigmentation on it, but it is like this is a silver eyeshadow with some purple undertone. This one down here is very sheer, super sheer. This is the one that I applied on my eyelid. It has to be built up. Are the swatches. The darker shades are definitely the ones that are more pigmented. You can tell just by feeling it that these ones right up here, they have like this buttery texture to them where it's just so nice. The texture is just different. And this one down here is not pigmented at all. Very sheer. Now I'm going to move on to this last one down here. So for the most part, some of these are super sheer. Not all of them have great pigmentation, but they are pretty shades. Well, it does come with 8 lipsticks depotted into little pots, and it comes with this tool. That way you can pick them and easily remove them because this palette is magnetic, and I have all the lipsticks in here and a blush. I don't like the fact that the lipsticks are in here, and the fact that the blushes or bronzers are in the center. As you guys can see right here, some of this matte black has already transferred into this highlighting shade or bronzing shade, and I just really don't want to have any black particles on my cheek. The fact that this was placed all together, including the lip glosses, which is why I had to take them out and put them in the palette to go. So now I'm going to share my final thoughts on this M palette with you guys, and I am going to be completely honest with you guys. I can now see why there was a lot of mixed reviews, a lot of pros and cons, and number one, I did not like the fact that the lipsticks or lip glosses are mixed up in this palette. As you guys seen in my close-up of this palette, it is so easy for you guys to dip your brush into the eyeshadow, and those matte black eyeshadows are going to dust off into the lip gloss, and no one wants to put on a lipstick with a black overlay on it, and especially the blushes, highlighters, and the contours that come in the center of each quadrant. It's a very bad idea, and in my opinion, given that Michelle Phan has come from humble beginnings, not only myself but others were under the impression that she was going to make her line affordable. I can honestly say I now understand why some people were even upset at the pricing. This palette is a steep $75. A lot of us may not be able to afford a $75 palette like this. In closing to this review, I do want to say my final words on this. Yes, these eyeshadows are really pretty. They are not all very pigmented. Some of them are, and there's just a lot of little pros and cons. This is definitely a palette that is going to be good for someone who doesn't like to apply their eyeshadow too heavy and just wants to have that beautiful touch of eyeshadow shades on your eyelids without it looking too dramatic. Then this is definitely the eyeshadow palette for you. So if you're willing to dish out the $75 for it, then for that reason, I say go for it. Me personally, I wouldn't pay $75 for it. I feel that this should have been priced maybe around $50, but that is just my opinion. And I hope that you guys don't get offended by it. I really feel like I need to be honest with you guys. I did depot a blush and all the lipstick shades into the palette to go. And if any of you guys are interested in having a blush with all the lipsticks that came in this palette, please comment down below so that way I could do a giveaway for this smaller palette that I put some shades in here. In the end, it's really up to you guys to judge and really decide if this palette is going to work out for you. It's one of those things where you kind of have to ask yourself, are you doing it for the quality of the eyeshadows or simply because you're a fan of Michelle Phan? So that is pretty much it. I hope you guys liked this review on the M Nightlife palette. Again, I hope I didn't offend anybody, but I really wanted to give you guys my honest review, even if sometimes it can sting the company that sent me the products, but I gotta be honest with you guys. Also, let me know if you guys want me to do a giveaway on this little Go palette. And that is it. Thank you guys so much. Lots of love, and until next time.